welcome to a big city edition of RollQ, where we do chronic crazy stuff and be into the big city. I'm your GMQ, and I'll be your tour guide here through this beautiful city of Vallaki. So grab a seat and let's roll some dice. Vallaki is about 3 times as big as Barovia, and you can see it from the outside. It's up on a hill with a huge wooden fence surrounding it. What gets your attention more, though, is it seems to be surrounded on the outside by a bunch of tents and ramshackle, like just people, and bedrolls and little tiny campfires. It looks like there's about, 30 people, maybe more, who are just camped outside what you would presume is the gate. Ireena will say,
how many of the rolls did we get? The dream rolls or whatever? 3?
I think we just got one, didn't we?
Well, I feel like several of us were handed them by Oksana.
Old woman who was almost definitely a hag and nobody picked up on that.
She's a
Right.
not good.
And it was like, oh, me and my daughters, we just live and we give you food for free.
No, she said she sold them for a fair price.
No, she said the first one was free.
First one was free, yeah.
The first one was free. That's a pretty classic.
And when has that ever gone wrong for anybody?
As she looks up, Ireena looks up and says, "Are those the Barovians who came here? Have they not even been allowed inside?" And she'll start walking up the hill pretty briskly.
Em matches up to her side. She doesn't want to allow her to get overwhelmed by anything.
As you get closer, you can see that outside the gate, there are probably a dozen spikes, and each one has a wolf head stuck on it.
They are not overlooking the lake that we passed, are they?
No, it's not that close. You do think you could probably walk 30 minutes and you'd be there?
Should we give these roles to everybody, or are we suspect about the roles?
Well, I'm suspect about it, but supposedly she's already been selling it to all of them, so...
Can we see them? Can we see the people? Like, do we see people walking around?
They're not walking around. They are sitting. They are ragged. They are emaciated. When they look at you, their eyes are kind of hollow. It's like it's like they've been out here for 3 months not eating well, which is probably exactly what is the case. As Ireena starts to walk among them, there are a few that mumble, "Oh, it's Ireena."
We must find out why they have not sought to help these people. Perhaps we can persuade the city's leadership otherwise.
Well, the city's leadership is going to have a frequent visitor in me if they do not explain this. She walks around and she finally is like, "Oh, Emmerich, Magda, hi." And she walks towards them. There's this really old couple. They're kind of just like everyone else, slumped, but they're even older. And their eyes kind of move up. And she'll crouch down and she'll say, "Emmerich, Magda, what has happened?" "Well, the Baron won't let us in. Been out here about 3 months." "Why? If you're not, like, do you think, there's enough of you, could you not have forced your way in?" "Tried. There was a terrifying man. He had a red devil arm and he conjured fire. Frodo, no, cut that. Frozy and Kana were burned alive. The rest of us backed off. We tried to bribe the guards. We're going to take the bribes, but they give us just enough food to be alive. They won't let us in. The Baron won't talk to us at all."
Ireena, does this fire person sound...
I've not heard about anyone here except the asshole Baron, but I clearly underestimated that. I did not expect this at all. She'll say, "You could return to Barovia now? The siege is over. We've been a couple of days. It seems to be safe now if you want to go back." And Magda will say, "No, we're not going back. We're not going back. The road's not safe. It's not safe. We just got to hope the Baron will see reason." "What is going on with everyone?" You guys seem at least like your brains are working, but so many that just seem hollow and agitated. What is it? It's the dream pasties. We don't eat them. We tried them once. We didn't like it, did we, Magda? No. We thought it was awful. Unfortunately, there's some like them too much. They are addicts. It's their only escape from a real feeling, and they will sell or trade just about anything to get them.
I would like
Just about anything.
um Oksana would like to turn to Cormac. Is there anything that we can do or that you can do to maybe reverse this process?
I don't think so. At least not immediately. I barely sort of understood them to be magical in nature. Couldn't even be sure they were nefarious, although that seems to be settled. Um, but even with one person, it would probably be magic beyond what I have specialized in to fix it, let alone for a whole group.
I was thinking more like maybe we can make a giant, like, I don't know, cauldron of like feel better stuff, and then everybody take it and then they feel better, you know?
Concoctions are not in my normal line of things, but I suppose, I mean, I would be able to understand instructions if we found help along those
Or
lines.
maybe Gummer?
Or maybe just feed them. I don't know.
Are there any children?
They're probably half a dozen. They are
Okay,
also just kind of sitting. Yeah.
He's going to start by pulling 6 of the good berries off half the grade and eat one each to the children.
The
They
children,
don't seem like much, but if you eat it, it'll help.
they do. Once they eat one, they look at you, and they have both hands out, like they want more. And the children are now, and the other children have noticed the ones you've given good berries to, and they're starting to kind of surround you, and their hands are all up, and they're like, "Please, please, sir, please, please." And it's like, I mean, these are human children, so like they're not almost as tall as you, and you're kind of surrounded by them.
Only got 10, and one is enough for any of you.
No, and now they're pushing each other to try to get at them.
Gently now. Behave.
Looking up at the very large stone man seems to have gotten their attention, and some of them will shrink back. There are a couple who just are like, most interesting thing they've seen in 3 months, and they're sort of like staring at Sam.
Summer will distribute them equally. We will share. For the Morning Lord's blessings come to those that take only what they need and give the rest on to the needy.
They sort of look at each other, and then they'll go and sit, very neatly in two little rows.
And you said there were a half dozen.
Yeah.
6. Everybody gets one.
The ones that have one, and one of them does, after chewing, is like, my belly does feel full with just one. Mine too. Thank you, sir. We're sorry, we's just so hungry. We's forgot our
I know.
manners.
Manners are easy to forget. I don't even have them sometimes. Oh, mind yourselves. I'll bring you more tomorrow if I can.
It's great. Ireena will sort of survey this, and she'll say, first quietly, I will get you in this city. I vow I will get you in this city. She'll kind of stand and raise her voice. I vow I will get you into this city. There's no applause. There's no smiles. It's just she will stomp off toward the gate, trying to get in this city.
Sam follows.
Dover does too, and Cash Shillelagh on his way. Fire bastard decides to show himself.
So you get to the door, you realize it's barely a gate. And Ireena kind of bangs on it. And it's one of those ones with the little flap, and the little flap opens up and the guard says, "Oi, are you spies of Strahd?" No,
We-
of course not.
We are servants of the Morning Lord.
All right. Anyone who's want to come in, open your mouths.
Open the mouth.
Dover does too.
All right,
Sam's-
no fangs.
Sam gapes open his jaw, letting
fangs.
blue light come forward. There are no stone teeth, of course.
Cormac, you must open mouth. Let us see.
Ireena will be like, "This is ridiculous. What are you doing?" And they say, "All right, you're not vampires. I need each of you to take a turn with this." He'll start feeding through the flap garlic, but it's all tied together on a rope, and you realize it's a giant garlic necklace, like a Hawaiian lei, except with garlic on it. He's like, "All you got to wear these. It proves you're not werewolves."
Oh, can
Go on,
I
then
be
put it on.
first? I would like to be first.
You put
Oksana
it
will
on,
take this. Mhm.
and
Oh,
it is a garlic necklace.
I love
All
it.
right, she's clear.
It's a garland.
Yeah, a garlic garland, a garlicand.
Like Dumber will take it second and try to take some of the garlic off of it. If it seems like it's not all dried out and moldy or something.
Oi, 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 oi! Just one. Just take one. We need. It might be more people getting in here. I don't have a whole bunch of these, you know. All right, you're good. You're good. Ireena will just pass it on.
Sam takes it, looks at it, makes a bemused shrug, and puts it on his head like a tiara because it's too small to fit over his giant cranium.
Can you? Oh no, it's fine. All right. And you, purple suit. You're last. Got to see it though.
All right. Were all these people out here unwilling to do this? Is that the problem? It is pretty stupid.
Oh, no. On orders of His Eminence Baron Vargas Filokovich, all persons from Barovia must remain outside the gate, lest they infect citizens of Vallaki. Lest they infect citizens of Vallaki with sickness, unruliness, and malicious unhappiness. I've had to say it a few times. The words just don't stick still. don't know.
Oksana's going to turn to Cormac and like touch his you put it on, right?
Yes.
Like the garlic. She's going to say, "Look, we look like we are a couple. We match."
It's not my normal choice of accessory.
By the gods, what is malicious unhappiness?
Well, it's. I mean, it's. We got to be happy here. All will be well.
I'm sorry.
What
I'm
we
sorry.
say,
You're happy?
Yes. I'm very happy. He looks to see if anyone's around him. I'm the happiest.
I do
It's
not
right happy here.
believe you.
I have no. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm as happy as everyone in Vallaki, as we are so lucky to be here, and all will be well. He'll look around and a little bit quiet. Is like, "You want to come in here or not?"
We must enter.
All right then. That'll be 1 gold piece per person to enter. All proceeds will go to the fund for the Festival of the Blazing Sun.
What
Summer
is
will
the
pay all
Festival of the
6.
Blazing Sun?
It's a tribute to the Morning Lord. The Morning Lord watches over us in this town, and we'd like to pay tribute to his strength and his beauty. All right, I'll take the gold then. So take the little pieces of gold, rattle them, and say, all right, now, we've got to be careful. He'll open the door just enough, just in case people try to run and push it open, but they don't. They're beaten. Come on in then, come on in then, come on in then, come in. You enter into this and you're in this little, like, kind of penned waiting area. It's sort of more wooden area. It's, not terribly claustrophobic, but it is, um, uh, you're not quite in the city yet. And the guard will say, all right, last thing I've got to do, you got to turn out your pockets, empty your purses. I just need the silver pieces. Anything you got that's silver, it's all I need. You keep all the gold. And we'll pay you back, of course. For every silver you give us, we'll give you 8 copper.
Collecting silver to be turned into munitions.
That's right. We're collecting silver to make sure if the wolves attack, I mean, you saw the wolves outside on the gate. If the werewolves attack, we want to be ready. So that's right, what the silver is for. And like I said, anything you've got that's silver, we'll take it. I mean, I've got to take it before I let you in. But like I said, we'll pay you back. I've got plenty of copper here. Every silver you give me, I'll give you 8 copper back. So
we had to pay gold to get in, and now we're losing money.
I mean, I can't give you 10 copper for the silver. It's taxes, I've got to have a good count at the end of the night. And the silver is, it's for all our benefit in it. If the werewolves come, you'll be glad we have it.
How long have you been having problems with these werewolves?
Well, we haven't had any problems yet, but we want to make sure we're ready. Ever since Strahd's woken up, all the hunters out there are telling us that werewolves are getting more aggressive and they're everywhere, and it's only a matter of time before they see this beautiful city on the hill, and then they're going to come, and we've got to be ready. I've got to take your silver. I can't let you in.
Summer will reach into his pouch and pull out the 8 silver that he has.
Silver, count out. He's counting really quick. He's like, that's 64 copper then. Open up your purse and I'll dump it in. He'll do that. Anyone else?
9. Oksana.
What, same. He'll count them. So you lose all the silver pieces that you have, and you get 80% of that value in coppers.
Does it look like I'm going to have to do anything fancy to hide these silvered bolts that we have? Or is he just not even literally checking?
He does not seem. He's not checking those things at all.
Okay.
He's like, well, you don't have any like little cups or keepsakes or nothing like that, do you? I've got to take those as well. Little medals.
I have no silver.
All right then. You're good then. All right then. What? That's it then. Welcome to Vallaki. All will be well. He opens up the door for you.
These people are very afraid.
What do you think of our welcome,
Okay.
Sam?
I do not believe that he believes all will be well. And while it is wise and prudent to prepare for the werewolves, I believe there is corruption in the means.
So it's just past dusk, but there's hardly anybody on the street at all. The guard from behind you say, if you're looking for rooms you want to get the blue water in, it's a nice place, fair prices. There's a fella there this morning who's got pointy ears like you all, so I imagine you'd be welcome. Anyway, Ireena will say, well, things we're supposed to do here is we're supposed to find St. Andrew's Church to keep me safe. Then we're supposed to go to the toy shop, right, and buy that girl a toy. He won't be open tonight.
Should we
Should we
attempt to speak to the Baron now, or is it too late to speak to barons?
So I've no idea at all.
Are there anyone? Is there anyone here who's going to know where you're from?
I don't think so.
Wasn't even part of what he asked at the gate, even though it was the reason for the rest of them being kept outside.
I don't think so. No, I've never been here. I don't know as why this Baron who would have met my father a time or two, but I've never been here. And my father, I'm sure, didn't talk to him any more than he had to. So no, I don't think anybody here knows who I am at all.
Her neck is covered.
Her neck is covered with a scarf. Yes, she's not taken off that scarf since you left Barovia.
Did I get mine back in the morning, Oksana? My scarf? Did I get it back?
Would you like it back?
I put this one on for out of game. Yes, I want it back. I think otherwise I have to change my very minimal
She
costume.
take it out of bosom and give it to you. It's my scent. Here you go.
Still better than the garlic.
Someone would definitely want to look up Fiona walked her.
Okay.
Smart.
Invitation at the Dursts. And he does turn to Ireena and he says, it's a gamble, but if we're pissed off enough about them not getting inside, going tonight and trying to see a good idea shows how angry you are, but it might get us kicked out.
Like I said, it's a risk. I think there's too much we don't know. We don't know what this Baron is like, except being an asshole. We don't know how dangerous this devil-armed man is, or whatever the hell he is. We don't know. We can look around at all the big houses, but we don't know even who to ask about this Lady Walker.
Our first plan was to get you to the church, so I say we go there and
push for the seemingly inconsequential, but I thought perhaps we could do all those less obtrusive things, like the toy store, so that when we get thrown out, they're already accomplished. But I think with Sam with us, do we know if this church is a Church of the Morning Lord? They seem keen on it here in this town, but
Ireena will say, well, it looks like every place here is...
We
I guess
should
it won't be
wait
very
out
hard.
the evening at the church.
Is there not place to stay?
Well,
there's
the
some-
god said there was a place called the Blue Water Inn. He said it was a nice place. I feel like the inn is a better place to find out information, but...
What if we go
That
to
may be
this
an option.
blue place and then we just ask where the church is and what people think about it, and then we can decide from there?
It's fine with me. I could certainly do with a meal, and honestly, I could do with a glass of wine. I don't imagine I'll be able to get that at the church. So as you look sort of towards that stockyard, the road does bend left, but the avenue seems larger as you head to the right. You walk probably only about 5 minutes. I mean, even at 3 times the size of Barovia, we're not talking a big place. You do pretty quickly come around a corner, and it's not a main square, it's sort of like a circle. And you can sort of see there's a few shops that all closed that sort of lead down one of the side roads. But the inn is there. It's a pretty big 2-story building, chimneys, puffing smoke from the top, and ravens that are kind of perched there. Looking closer, you realize that one of them is the one with blue tail feathers.
I just want to know if I think it is Strahd. This is what I want.
Done a little falconing.
Maybe. Let's see.
You don't know.
I got a nat 20. I am not kidding. I will show you here.
You
The
realize
ravens?
you could just pick it up and show us 20. Like, that doesn't actually demonstrate that it was a... Not that I don't
yes,
believe
the
you.
number
I'm not
20 is
talking-
definitely on it.
I'm just pointing out that as a verification of a phenomenon, it comes up short.
Okay.
I don't want to be the one to point out I don't think she could have found that side of the die fast enough.
I was going to say, do you realize, unless I
Very
had this
small. That's why it's very
pre-planned,
small.
which now I have idea. Anyway, nat 20. Tell me what you got in
And
it.
if she were gonna cheat like on the bird watching, I bet she could do better than that.
That's how you
She's gonna-
throw off suspicion for later mischievousness. It's a
I
long
rolled a nat
game.
30.
Long
So with a
game.
nat 20, the ravens all look very what I don't even know what to tell you.
Are
Um,
they Strahd or not?
no, you remember perfectly that Ismark,
Oh,
someone
it's
in
not
Barovia,
Strahd.
I think it was Ismark, said the ravens are a good sign, not a bad sign. Bats,
Okay.
rats, we don't like them, but ravens are actually a good omen.
Well,
So,
maybe that's not what I should have been used for something else. Sorry, guys. It's
and the
fine.
little blue hair, the little blue-tailed one has always been very friendly and good people.
Okay.
Impassioned.
So yeah, the inn looks like it's rocking a little bit. Lights are on.
I would like to go inside. Summer, what do you think?
I think we should go inside, and he does.
Just
Marching through the door, the inn takes you to go directly into the tap room first. There's probably about a dozen people. It seems to be built to hold more people because there are tables and chairs that are very close together. You can't actually walk anywhere. You have to kind of sidle to the side to get past anything. There is kind of a long bar. Above it, there's like a balcony, and it looks like there's rooms behind that balcony. There are more wolf heads on the walls, these ones mounted on plaques.
I don't think turning sideways Gummer gets any thinner trying to pass through this. So he just walks. Are any
As
of
you walk, the chairs just fall down in front of you. They just,
I
just
don't care.
like an actual bowling ball.
Do any of the plaques have information on them?
Make
Like a
perception.
year or name or
You don't have to make a perception check. You can read. So you kind of look at them, and they do seem to have initials. Most of them seem to have SZ on them. There's a couple that have. There's an LV. There's an IS, but most of them have SZ, and that's just and those not written, literally just carved into the plaque at the bottom. When you look around, everybody seems to have mugs of wine, bowls of stew. A few of them have some sort of meat in front of them, steak or something. You do get, the requisite stares from the patrons, especially Sam, but it's not anything different than normal. And along the staircase, there is one table that draws your attention. The aforementioned pointy-eared guy. He is unmistakable, colorfully dressed. He's got a wide brim hat, big purple feather on it. He's standing at the head of the table, and he's definitely holding court. He's telling a story. It's hard to hear. Every once in a while, a laughter will sort of ripple through the group, and there's some light applause. And he'll sort of, bow to them, and he say, "Thank you, and another one, yeah. You want another one? Very well." A woman comes up to you now. I don't know, 40s, and she'll say, "Hey, welcome to the Blue Water. I'll be right with you. Just have a seat at the bar, okay?" So at the bar, there's a couple of guys, kind of rough looking. When you see the furs and whatnot, they look like hunters. They look like trappers.
good hunting around here.
If you know where to look, it's mostly wolves. We kill them, put them on the wall, and we sell the meat for a living too.
You know of any packs who might be like up on a mountain and overlooking a lake or something?
I've not heard of the mountain part, but out by the lake is, well, we've not seen any of the real big ones, or the, magic ones or whatever. I don't even know if I believe it. I've never seen one. If you want to have one, they're serving wolf steaks here.
can I have
Hey.
one to take with me? Raw, please. Bloody.
You can ask Erwin. Erwin steps to you. He's bald, nice big mustache that kind of circles all the way around here. And he sort of will come up, and he's got this tray filled with food. And he's like, welcome to the beautiful and historic Blue Water Inn, the finest inn in Vallaki, the only inn, of course, but that detracts not one bit from our finery. Erwin Mardukov, proprietor, owner. Pleasure to meet you all. You look like travelers. I assume you need rooms for the night?
Yes. And meat.
Okay.
Yeah, we probably do. We could also use directions, Erwin, if you have a second. We were told about St. Andrew's Church.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, St. Andrew's Church is go out here and you just kind of head up the road that way. He points back the way you were going. So if you kept going, so you run into it. We're probably the only other building that has lights on right now, so you can't miss it. Father Petrovich is a good man. Be happy to show you there in the morning. I'm working tonight at the moment. The woman walks up and she'll say, "Let me guess, he's offered you free rooms again." "I have not. We talked about the rooms. I'd say it was free." He already gave that colorful fellow a free room in exchange for entertaining the room. And it's a good investment. Look how happy they are. Aye, but they're drinking exactly the same amount, so where's your investment now? You're lucky you have me to do the books and keep this heap running. Why else did I marry you if not for your brilliance? A rare instance of common sense. She'll kiss him on the cheek and she'll nod. Corner table's hungry. Hop to it. Right. See you later. The woman says, I'm
Colorful
Danica.
man.
Yeah, he's a good one. You need rooms then? I've got a big room. That one's a golden night. I've got 2 smaller rooms, 5 silver each. Breakfast is free. Dinner, the bread's free and the beef stew is free. A wolf steak is 5 silver. They're pretty dear. We don't have too many of them. But if you're interested, I do have.
You'll all be able to fit in the one big room.
She'll shrug, and Ireena will say, I mean, Sam's not taking up any space.
I do
Say
not
where we count.
require space.
She'll say, and I don't even know if I'm sleeping here or not, so I'd imagine the 3 of you could fit in a big room, but
I
I
can
don't know if I'm
fit
sleeping here, so.
just fine next to Cormac. Just saying.
Even so, yes, I think we should stay together in the one large room, and somehow I doubt we'll be either paying or receiving change in silver in this town.
He takes that as a romantic gesture.
Due respect to the deliverers, I will take stew, and I'll pay for the big room.
I will show you to a table. She'll walk you to sort of a long table. So for wine, we've got the good stuff. Red Dragon Crush, it's silver per bottle. There's the cheap stuff. Purple Great Mash number 3, that's 5 copper a bottle. Erwin will say, remember, we're out of the Purple Great Mash. That's right. Shipment's late. The Dragon Crush is worth it. A nice big bottle will give you all a couple of glasses. Right? Very good. And we'll get you that stuff out in just a minute. And you guys are at the table alone. There's, the guy still telling stories in a booming voice. They seem to be all like long stories with punchlines at the end.
Who is that strange man?
What's strange?
Maybe we should just ask him.
I will go ask him then. Sam stands up and just walks calmly straight over to the colorful gentleman and waits for him to reach like the end of his story or sentence. He's not totally rude, but he's clearly looming.
And she looked at him in horror. Not at him, but at his head. His bare head. There, just beneath the eastern window, lay his beloved raven Hedwig. He dove for it, claws outstretched, and a sliver of sunlight grazed across his skin. There was a sizzle, a hiss, and a burst of smoke and flame. Olivinka, purse clutched to her chest, watched in awe as Count Belasco succumbed to the morning light, until all that remained was a smouldering heap of ash and a charred, smoking wig. Poor Olivenko never got over it. After all, it was quite the hair-raising experience. The drunks at the table just laugh and they slap their hands and they look at you as, see, it was worth it, wasn't it? It was really good story, wasn't it? The man turns toward you and bows and he says, it is my pleasure to meet your acquaintance. You seem like very, very interesting folk.
We are travelers.
I'm a traveler myself. I've traveled long and far in search of new acts for my circus. I'm a ringmaster, that's my job. My name is Rictavio. I did not actually plan to come to this Barovia, but as I'm here, I'm trying to make the most of it.
Where are you from originally?
Well, parts very far away. Very far. He'll twirl his mustache a little.
So you say you're a ringmaster, so do you
Yes.
audition talent, or how do if I am very talented, I have quite a good art, maybe we can, I don't know, maybe you need in my expertise to pay me for my art?
Is it like a performance kind of art?
Can be, it just depends on situation.
All right, situational. What do you require? Is it paint, wood, sculpture?
I require blood and dead body. It seemed like we would find that here very easily.
Says maybe. I'm not sure my circus is ready for such a macabre sort of act, but I will certainly keep it in mind.
I've not been rejected so harshly. I will have to process this personally. And she will go stand next to Carmack and look at him.
You
Doesn't
say
mean that
you're
no offense.
from far away in Barovia?
Uh, actually, no, I'm well past Barovia, much further than this.
I'm all ears.
I am from the land of Carpagio. It is over the sea, far west. I have taken a great ship to come here. I was on my ship. We were sailing into a fog bank. And we got turned round. And then we were pushing up against the shore. And here I was, in Barovia.
Which
As I
shore
said.
did Which
Sorry?
shore would that be?
Well, it's the western shore. I've come from the west, so the shore to the west. I don't know what it is called. I made it here. I tried to get to the city as fast as quickly as I could. I'm not really much for sleeping in the rough. At any rate, I was just.
And
No,
and
please.
none of us would recognize the name Carpaccio.
Sounds like food.
Make a history check.
That's yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna.
I wasn't paying attention,
13.
so I will not.
13. Lucky 13.
Anyone higher than 13?
I must not have heard him well from all the way back here with Oxana.
Okay. Sam, with the 13,
Distracting.
you've poured over Sir Istival's maps, not only of the Sword Coast, but of far to the east, as far as Thay, as far as has been mapped. There is no Carpagio that you are aware of.
I do not know this land of your home.
Well, that's as may be. It was a long journey by sea. Besides, once you were at a place this beautiful, why would you want to go anywhere else? I just arrived this morning. I was graciously allowed the establishment's private suite. I'm paying my way with my tales and good humor, entertaining and keeping in wine all the fine patrons, especially my friends Nikolai and Carl here. They've been with me for 2 hours already. With that, I shall take my leave. My lords, my fellows, my lady. Boo, one more, come on. And one will say, yeah, we've heard a story about a dumb count. How about one about a dumb baron? The place goes silent. Everyone looks towards him. And then looks down. And he looks around. Total defiance. One of the bearded hunters at the bar just says, "That's not, boy." The other guy, "Yeah, that's not." The other one, just as defiant, says, cowards, a lot of you. Not a funny bone in your bodies. Alas, Rictavio says, my friends, the day has been long. I must retire. Another day, perhaps. He bows and he upstairs, kind of minces his way up the stairs and off. And he's gone, and you hear the door shut behind him.
Sam returns to the rest of the group, says they are sensitive about their baron.
The two young men are now just kind of looking around at everyone, not particularly at you, just kind of muttering to themselves. More wine.
Never thought I would appreciate silence quite so much.
Yes, despite not being from around here and the ears and so forth, it doesn't exactly seem like the sort destined to either end up or in or avoid that cemetery.
And I don't think that we are unusual in that it took us a few days to really decide that we were going to stay and not try and leave. If you were shipwrecked here, why wouldn't the first try to leave? It just seems to be taken to it awfully well.
He said shipwreck. I didn't quite hear from it. Was he alone on the ship?
But yeah, then what sort of circus is just a ringmaster? Where are the other acts?
I mean, I am circus of my, like, a ringmaster of my circus, it is possible.
It's about this time that Erwin will show up to the table carrying a big tray and he'll put it down in the middle. All right, bread for the table, stew coming out. I'm a stew short. I'll be back. I'll get that and the wolf steaks and I'll be right back. Danica, would you pour the wine, please? Sorry, I will be right back. He walks away. Danica will come and she'll start pouring the wine. She'll say, "So, travelers, what brings you to town? Passing through business, the festival."
We are here to help the refugees.
Oh, oh, all right then. Well, best of luck with that. I've not gotten to see them, of course, but I wish you well in your endeavor. I would not wish to see anyone not doing well.
Do you
Do you
know
know how we could speak with the Baron?
he read my
Uh,
mind?
well, we don't. We're sort of small-time folk here. The only place I know that the Baron always is usually there's a procession down the road every morning as the scary guy first, and then the Baron and guards and dogs, and so I expect there'll be one tomorrow morning as well, especially with the. Well, I was going to say with the festival so close, but there's always a festival close now. It's only 2 days from the last one and 5 days from the next.
Why do you feel like this is? Sorry, I think it is strange. Isn't it supposed to be like 4 times a year or something, like everywhere?
Um, uh, Baron Vallaki thinks it's good for morale. Thinks if we are happy enough, Lathander or someone will cure the land. Even made it illegal to be unhappy. Tough to enforce that. Uh, Anyway, we've had a festival every month for years and years, but since the castle woke up, it's once a week now. We've barely cleaned up one when the next comes up. Uh, this week's festival is the Festival of the Burning Sun. It's dedicated to Lathander, which I approve of. It's better than last week. The Wolf's Head Festival was a bit too on the nose for my taste. There's only so many wolf heads on pikes you can see in a day. This time there's supposed to be a giant wicker man or something that they're going to light on fire. Hope it's
She
not windy
says
that day.
Oksana
I heard
is.
of,
Sorry, I was just going to paint a visual of Oksana as he say something about the wolf. She is taking meat and eating it right in front. Not to be rude, it just happened to be what she is doing.
Really, really, really hard to chew through raw wolf steak, it turns out. Really difficult.
And I will lick it.
I mean, it does have, there's some nice blood running down, so that's a plus.
Okay.
David, you were saying something.
has Sam heard of this festival? Is this like a commonly observed Lathandrian rite, or is this some local variation?
It's must be a local variation. There are plenty of festivals for Lathander, every spring, every summer, but the burning sun, it's a little. Certainly, Lathander has his power to burn if he chooses to use it, but generally, it's not his power that is focused on as much as as the light part seems to generally be the focus versus the burning part
Right.
in general.
And Wickermen, not de rigueur in my Lathandrian experiences.
Building giant wicker man and burning them has not been a thing that you have been aware of before.
So there's quite an awful lot of unusual things in what you've just described, but I'm starting to learn not to focus on the merely unusual. You mentioned the scary guy.
If it's all the same to you, I'd prefer not to discuss him with this many ears around. There are some things maybe it's superstition, but there are things I don't like to talk about at night. Maybe is tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning would be a better time for Erwin and I to have this particular discussion.
Of course, of course.
It's all the same.
We've had some other hints already. It's perhaps enough to know that you are being circumspect.
I imagine. Um, let's just sort of say a little bit louder. Anyway, today is November 2nd, and the festival is at noon, high noon, of course, on November 7th. So just 5 days from now. Ah, where is that Erwin? I'll go check on him. She'll walk back. Erwin, where are you?
I have not heard of this festival. It is not commonly observed in our lands.
Well, to be honest, if they've gone from celebrating them every month to celebrating it, they might just be making some up.
What do you think,
The
Cormac?
Oh, well, I mean, I really couldn't tell. I mean, that gentleman at the gate, he did sort of give us the impression that maybe he wasn't wholly on board, but I wasn't sure if that's what we should expect throughout. I mean, if there are dangers, the wolf heads outside and so forth, I would have perhaps expected more of the folk in the town to seem like they were, 100% behind all of this. If they are not, whatever's getting them to go along with it must be frightening indeed.
guy who spoke out, who made the joke about the Baron,
Mm-hmm.
are is he kind of like back in the fold with everyone else? Like it's forgotten, or is there?
It seems to be forgotten. Um, he's not back in the fold. He and his brother are just drinking and shaking their heads and muttering. They seem like the ones who are willing to say it out loud, be that for good or ill. And everyone else seems to not be interested in hearing anything bad about the Baron at all.
Has
Since
anyone
unhappiness is now illegal.
has anyone mentioned Strahd? We heard that name at all tonight?
Um,
At the gate,
no. Yeah, at the gate.
Was it
Uh,
us that mentioned it, or
He did.
okay,
he asked us if we were servants of Strahd.
okay, thank you.
Danica did say just now that the festivals went
Castle.
from once a month to once a week after the castle woke up.
It sounds weird. I feel less comfortable here.
So Danica's bringing you the stew she didn't bring you, but you don't have to wait for it.
Right. I am in love with the image of Gummer eating a bowl of stew on the way to the church. Just waddling down the street.
So you guys stand up. Erwin says, see, those rooms will be ready for you. And you are back out in the street. You make a left turn, and you are heading up towards the church.
Oksana will try to walk next to Cormac and just sort of keep looking at him to try to get his attention the entire time. As Oksana is walking, she is going to turn to Cormac because she has been observing, trying not so much to talk. She is going to ask, I have a question. Do you dream in diagrams, or do shadows creep in? Or wait, no, that was not the question I want to ask. The question I wanted to ask, she's very nervous. She's trying to relate. Do you know what it feels like when someone looks at you like prey, but you want them to?
Well, I thinking mostly about what I would be dreaming if I'd eaten that cake you tried to give me, that pastry, whatever it was. Um, those folks outside the gate have me quite concerned. But yes, there are things that follow me in my dreams and when I'm awake.
So is this in formulas or numbers, or do I need to learn how to do theorems or something, just so I can keep up? And she bets her eyes.
No, no. My understanding. I see. You're thinking of my studies of the natural world and the magics and so forth. It tends to be more um, words, uh, sometimes, and encapsulating those sorts of relationships, but with words.
She's going to take out a small, like tiny notepad and like turn to the side and be like, words are key to heart. Got it. Oh, this is very interesting. I do not want to interrupt you. And she like kind of walks right next to him, like just kind of continuing to look at him and try to come up with things to say.
He doesn't really react that much, just kind of going on.
Yes, I figure.
Hey Sam, is it weird to you that we eat? Like, do you find it odd that we put stuff in our faces and then that makes us feel a little bit better?
I try to have empathy for your needs.
I mean, is it the same with sleep? Like, you look at us and you do you guess a little bit?
Sometimes I worry about you. It is harder to rouse you than it is to wake me. But I think it would be pleasant to dream.
You do see, after not very long, the church is a fairly big building, pretty well lit. The windows are very open. The church in Barovia felt like almost like a fortress, a windowless place with shadows everywhere. This place seems very like wide open in it, so it's a very different kind of feel. As you approach it, you can see through the windows it looks like there is a service happening right now. It's not a lot of people in there, maybe 10 or so, but there is a father standing there, and you sort of hear as you approach. Now, for the morning, Lord, when times are difficult, we look to the sky. I know it's not easy to do that. I know it's difficult sometimes. I know trying to be happy all the time, it's a strain and it's difficult. But if you keep your eyes skyward, if you just keep your eyes skyward, you'll find what you're looking for. Just have faith. As you're entering, most everyone is gone. Danica is there, and she's talking to Nikolai and Carl are still there. Alas, boys, we've run dry of the Red Dragon, shipments and all. So it's the Great Mash or not. If all you have is the Great Mash, let's go. Danica, good wine, good food, good people. And they'll stand and, hey, you guys are exciting looking, real different. Let's go.
Blessings of the morning, Lord, follow upon you.
Yes, absolutely. Morning, Lord. Woo! And they kind of go out the door. Danica will just sort of, those two drive me nuts. Ready for your rooms?
Yeah, the big room.
All right, sure. Just follow me. Breakfast is first light, but it's free. We count on the price of your room, and if there's nothing else, I'll bid you good night, and we'll see you in the morning. Good night.
Good
Good night.
night.
She'll walk back downstairs. The place seems pretty quiet. You do see the door, at least, of the big giant guest suite. It actually has two doors that seem to open like that, but it does not appear Rictavio is regaling anyone at the moment. There's no sound from there at all.
Will we manage to address this Baron? Should we wait for the festival and simply approach him on the street? Can the refugees wait that long?
Rather they didn't. I don't know about interrupting the procession. That seems like a bad idea. A man who's so concerned about his appearance that I'd like to get a look at this.
Perhaps we should simply approach the mansion, present ourselves as newcomers to his domain.
They said there's a procession every day, or not until the
Every
festival?
morning.
Yeah, every morning. That's what I thought.
Every morning, the scary guy and the Baron ride their horses to be seen.
Well, I think at the very least we should get a good look at this procession in the morning. The Baron, the scary guy, these sorts of things. There's, well, I wish I understood more of the things that Madame Eva told us, so that I felt like there was something to hurry towards. But since I don't quite understand it as yet, I suppose we can try to help things here in the meantime.
We
Yes.
do owe Madame Eva the toy.
You're thinking that Arabelle's name day is not tomorrow, be the day after, and you're supposed to deliver it to the camp by noon.
We also may not make that appointment at all if we are imprisoned.
Then we shall stay out of prison.
Well, I certainly hope so. We are talking about exactly how much affront we wish to provide as we challenge the leader of this place for what he's done to the people outside. It seems we could end up enemies as easily as someone who makes a joke. I just wonder if, again, I don't know that I understand enough of it to act on it, but this, whatever's going on here, I think it's hard to imagine it isn't a result of the greater machinations in this land. And if there's something we can do about that, I don't know that I want to get caught up tackling the symptoms, as they say. I worry about getting waylaid here.
Let us wait until the morning. We will observe this burgomaster Baron and his frightening companion. Then we will get the toy.
Agreed?
I
3 of you going to bed in the room. You guys can click long rest. Sam meditating in the room or outside?
He's in the room. He's just to the side of the door.
Okay.
Standing where a coat rack might be.
As you meditate, Sam, you suddenly feel yourself in a completely different place. And you blink your eyes, and you're standing outside. Behind you is what almost looks like not one of the smooth pyramids, but one of the South American pyramids that kind of go up like that. It's a pretty large one. You are standing, and there's sort of steps that lead down, and you're standing, and it appears you're some sort of guard. You're holding a spear in your hand. You're standing and waiting. As you look around, the place looks absolutely scarred. It's scorched land. There's dirt. It's sunny. About 30 feet from you, there seems to be like a cliff, like it just sort of ends there. And you stand meditating, almost as you are now. And suddenly you hear from behind, from the doorway coming toward you, you hear a man saying, "No, you cannot do this to me. This is not right. This is I am worthy. I am worthy." An almost identical warforged to you is carrying this man by his shoulders. He walks to the edge of the steps and just throws him. Kind of falls down the steps. And he says, "Rev Samal, this one is unworthy." Sam, you stick the spear in the earth, and you lean over and you pick this guy up by his shoulders. Go make a wisdom saving throw for me.
No, 9.
9. Unworthy means only one thing. You start to walk him towards the cliff. He looks at you and he begs, says, "Please, please, please. This is not. I am worthy. I haven't done anything wrong." You hear your voice say, "It does not matter what you have done, right or wrong. The Lord says, and we do." You walk to the cliff and you hold him out like that. He looks directly into your eyes, and you see your reflection back at him. And instead of blue eyes, your eyes are a deep, dark red. And you say, "Goodbye." And you throw this guy off the cliff. Start walking back. You hear this splat on the rocks. As you walk back, this is what you do, this is what you are, and not a single time does a noble morning lord, there is not a single thought passing through your brain except throw off cliff, go back, stand and wait. And as you hold this spear, feeling with the senses you have on your skin, this hot, dusty wind, you blink again, you're back in the room. And you hear this little voice. It's Saristoval's voice in your head, and it says, "When the darkness comes, I will not yield."
Sam moves his head slowly from one side to the other, and then begins intoning that chant to Lathander. When the darkness comes, I will not yield. Darkness is the destroyer and temptation its weapon. I will face the night with its horrors and await the horizon. For in the light of the Morning Lord's love, only light can remain.
You intone that quietly to yourself. Everyone else just sleeping away. And as you start to intone that to yourself, you two start to meditate. There's some comfort. It's just, you're not sure you've ever had a dream before, but it certainly feels like it was one. And it was you, but it was not you. And the last thing that happens before you drift back into meditation, you hear the voice of Strahd, not talking in your head, it's just a memory. And he says, "What Duru was not his fault." That's it. Your windows face east, and thus what sun there is comes shining through your windows at first light. You've all taken a long rest now.
Sam begins moving with first light and ends up going downstairs, so as not to disturb any of his other companions. And he goes to do what he has seen organic beings do many times when they are pondering something heavy. He sits at the bar.
uh, you do sit at the bar. Erwin comes out of the door and he says, "Good morning, friend. Did you sleep well?"
Inasmuch as I sleep, which I suppose is as useful a term, I did not sleep well.
Sorry to hear that. Was it something with the beds? Or
What do you do when you have a bad dream?
Bart, I think I'd be more used to these sort of questions. I tell Danica, and she's gonna say she strokes my hair, but there's not that much left. She rubs my head, I guess, and then I go in and hug my boys. That's what I do.
Hmm. Is rubbing the head helpful?
Um, yeah, yeah. When you get scared, the best thing you have is the people around you. Oh gosh, it is way too early in the morning to be this deep. I, uh, I, you gotta lean on the people around you, don't you? If you're scared, they're here to keep you safe and help you see the good things, not just the scary things. And then when they have nightmares, you do the same for them. That's family.
I will consider what you have said
That's
until
great.
my companions awake. I will also attempt to rub my head.
That's yeah. I'm not sure if it's the same when you do it yourself. I don't know. Um, uh, he'll sort of look. There's a lot of looking around to see if people are looking in this town, and he'll say, uh, "When your friends do come down, I love a word with you. Hopefully, before anyone else comes down. Okay, all right." He'll go back into the kitchen and start hear things clanging around, dishes clanging around. The morning is yours.
I'm trying so hard not to mock this interchange, but my head itches so bad ever since you mentioned it. I've been like, I need to. I don't want it to be like I'm rubbing my head. I'm not even there.
Sorry. I don't know. That made me like upset. It was good.
Summer wakes up in his long johns uh, and throws on his armor, and then he's going to, as he's kind of going about his day, waiting for everyone. He's going to ritual cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
And
Very
then
good.
when he goes downstairs, he's going to go outside and see.
Yeah. There's a couple of them up there. Sorry, I lost. Sorry, I couldn't hear what you said.
Sorry, the blue one.
Yeah, the blue one is there.
Hey, you.
Yeah. What's up?
Can you come? Can you come down here so we're not shouting?
Sure, yeah. Flap, flap, flap. Lands on your shoulder. What's up,
Who
fella?
are you? We seem to be running into you a lot, and I'm wondering where you come from, who sent you.
Nobody really sends us anywhere. We go where we feel like we're supposed to. Hard to explain. Instinctual, really. I mean, come to it. Who are you?
Well, my name's Gummer. You got a name?
Yeah. It's really hard to say. It's Lokmi Okta Juf. Lokmi Okta Juf. Sounds a lot easier in bird.
I'm sure it does.
Anyway.
So you don't answer to a human or someone else. You just kind of go where instinct sends you.
I definitely do not answer to a human. She looks sort of up at the other room, saying, we make decisions together. It's not just me. I mean, shit, man. You've seen birds, like, you're flying one way and then you all decide you're going to go another way. It's just kind of, I don't know what you'd call it, but it's not like we're the same brain, but there is a connection that we have. Do you guys have that? People like you? Like two-leggers?
Not as much as we might like.
Yeah. Must be hard having to make all your decisions on your own.
Not always bad.
I'm sure not. Just, well, lonely.
All right, Logmi Ota Juf. I won't say it's been a pleasure. It's been, and I won't even say it's been that illuminating. It's been time spent with you. How about that?
It's a little gruff for my taste, but you do you, pal. Anytime.
I usually do. Individuality, see?
By the way, you said my name really, really well for the first try, so that's really worth something to me. I appreciate it. Flap, flap, flap.
Hey, you're welcome.
Flies
We'll go back inside and stay at the bar.
As you still have the spell cast, you hear them sort of say, "What did you talk to him about?" All he wanted to do was ask us, like, how do we decide things? I was like, I don't know what to tell him. And that's sort of the last thing as you close the door on your way in. Cormac, Oksana, morning time.
Yeah, just trying to sort of race through, flipping through the pile of papers in his various folders to sort out spells for the day without losing too much time, as there's so much happening in the morning, breakfast and processions, and he's downstairs about as quick as he can be.
Um, Oksana is, I don't know, something that was said in the sort of going to the church and coming back. I think that she had this idea of just trying to be quiet and observe. Um, Obviously, especially Cormac, because I think that he is very interesting to her, and not just like, physical, like surface level attraction. I think she really is interested in how his mind works. And I also think that she really does listen to what Sam says ever since they had that Doru incident. Um, so she's probably just kind of, not creepily, but just kind of interested in what Cormac is doing, probably looking over his shoulder, or he drops a paper, she picks it up. It's not characteristic of what she would be doing. So it's possible that, if anyone were actually paying attention, they would probably notice. But also, she's not trying to make a thing of it. So she's probably come down as well.
Once you're all downstairs, Erwin will sort of come and he'll say, uh, breakfast? You guys want breakfast?
Certainly. Love the meat.
I do not eat.
Yeah, no problem. You go and he'll bring some kind of sort of an oatmeal, but it seems a little differently textured. And he'll lean on the bar and he'll say, "Look, this can be a dangerous place. Careful what you say. The Baron will punish any negative talk, and there's plenty of snitches around here. The head guard is Isaac Strasny. Honestly, I don't even know if you can call him a guard. Isaac Strasny, and everyone's scared to death of him. You should be too. Many have tried his strength and all have failed. He is completely loyal to the Baron, will do whatever he says. It's even tenser out there than normal. There are the rumors that the Walkers may push back against some things, and the punishments are swifter and more brutal than ever before. If you want something from that Baron, flatter him, kiss his ass, he eats it up. That's it, I guess. You seem like all right folk. I'd hate to wander into something by accident.
You know where we might be able to find
Find who?
the walkers?
Oh, yeah, they have a Walkderhaus. That's what it's called. So far north end of the city. So I don't I know much about them. The lady of the house is Lady Fiona. She's very formidable. Um, haven't seen her out and about lately. She hasn't ventured much out lately. Haven't seen her daughter Stella either lately. You met her sons, Nikolai and Carl. They were the drunk guys here last night. Uh, they look for trouble, but they'll also kind of do whatever she says. So, um, they look for trouble, but I'm sure seeing you guys, and he kind of looks up and down at armor and weapons. I'm sure seeing you guys, they were not interested in trouble with you at all. Usually not.
I'm far from suggesting that we want to try the strength of this head guard, as you mentioned. Some have done, but is he sort of the only source of the Baron's iron rule?
When you say it like that, it doesn't sound like much. It is.
I'm
He
not
is
not
brutal and terrible, and I think maybe he could kill the whole town by himself if he really wanted to. And it's an open question whether or not he might want to.
Where does he come from?
He's been here as long as I've been here. I'm not actually from, uh, not actually from Vallaki. I moved here probably 10 or 15 years ago. Moved here looking for a job. Uh, didn't get along with my family so much. Didn't want to go into the family business, and found my way this way and found a job working here. Danica's father owned this place before. We got along real well. Danica and I got along even better, and 15 years later, and two kids, here we are. But Strasny's been here all that time. I mean, he couldn't have been more than 15 when I got here, but he looked like that already. Something not right. I couldn't tell you what.
Perhaps there is some sort of like scientific thing or maybe ritual, like either scientific Cormac or like ritual Sam that can be done to, discern or get more information about this.
Such things are
Talk,
possible, but
talking over my head.
I think we best just start by having a look.
You already asked about the toy shop.
I don't believe so.
I know we didn't this morning, but Blinsky Toys.
Oh, yeah. Is no fun, is no Blinsky. I've heard that plenty of times. It's carved in every toy. That is no fun, is no Blinsky. Anyway, it's good. They're good toys, good quality. So if you walk down behind here, we don't really have a town square as much as or market square as much as a market circle. It's actually a road kind of that circles all the way around, and if you head down this way, about midway, you find Blinsky's toys there. It's generally open, sun up, sundown. Like I said, it's good quality stuff. Our boys like it. This stupid masks they have are definitely Blinsky. Is no fun, is no Blinsky.
Well,
Nothing else.
I was just going to say, can we go to do we want to split up or am I misunderstanding? Can we go to the toy store?
Well, sure. You're well, you probably have to wait for the procession to end. It's going to start any minute now.
Get outside
Okay.
then.
As you guys
Yes.
walk outside, streets are crowded. As you exit the inn, there's people sort of right in the middle of the street. They're just talking. You hear same kind of boring stuff. Is it going to rain today? You know, has the wine shipment arrived? Things like that. And then you hear from this way, you hear a horse whinny. And when that happens, the townsfolk freeze. They go silent and they start to back out to clear the road. And then from the south, you see this procession coming. Leading that procession is the largest human you have ever seen. There's a shortcut hair, shortcut beard. There's a full splint armor, except he's got big tufts of fur on his pauldrons, right on his shoulders. And from here, you can see that his right arm looks literally like a devil's arm has been grafted onto him. It's red, it is scaly. You think you can see, even from this distance, there are cracks in it where it looks like there's a lava type light underneath it. There's even spines all the way up and back down his arm. People are almost falling down to get back and stay away from him, and you can understand why. Behind his horse is a chestnut horse with a small man on it. He's got long gray hair swept back from a widow's peak. Face is angular, and his resting face seems to be almost a sneer, kind of a. He's dressed in a red robe, all gold trim. On the sides, you heard something about dogs. There's two huge mastiffs that are kind of walking. As they get closer, you see that they're decidedly unfriendly, and there's a retinue of guards that follows them. As they
Many.
come, it's very quiet. He's sort of waving. Go ahead.
All right, how many? How many guards?
Dozen. As they're walking behind Gummer, you see it first, but you all see it. This little shadow comes out of the crowd. Old woman, all bundled up. It's got to be Wilhelmine, and you see her kind of reach her hand out, and she's not even touching anyone. She's just reaching out to try to get the Baron's attention, and you can't hear her voice, and everyone around her is like looking away, like, "Oh my God, I can't believe she's doing that." And
And
then she
Gumma
does
get
that.
to her.
You can try.
Yeah,
So,
Sam's gonna follow in suit.
so are you guys going to get right out in the middle of the road and run up, or are you going to try
I
to make your way through the crowd? It's up to you.
make my way through the crowd. I don't think that it's smart to try and get in front of the procession.
As you're making your way through the crowd, uh, Sam, you're right behind him. Sam, you can see this better, but Gummer, you see it between people as people are. Honestly, people are it's really easy to move them. But as Strosny gets to her, he looks down at her and totally expressionless, just takes that devil arm, grabs her by the clothes, and just shoves her. She lands right in a mud puddle. She doesn't seem hurt, but she's very still. Nobody even moves to help her. Baron says, "Stop." Everyone stops. "Now look what you have done. Mud all over my best robes. Is this how you would show your gratitude for the sunshine your Baron brings you?" "No, my lord. I'm sorry, my lord. I beg of you, please release my son, Udo. It was a foolish joke, but he meant no harm. Please let him go." "Udo needs rehabilitation for his malicious unhappiness, and he shall not be released until he is rehabilitated. It would seem you need similar rehabilitation. Isaac sees her. 2 days in the stocks ought to tighten her tongue." Isaac reaches down, leans all the way down on the horse, lifts her by her clothes, lifts her up. There's a pair of guards already coming, and he'll just sort of toss her. The guards will catch her, and they turn and they start hauling her away from you in that direction.
Sam,
What are you,
God
yeah, what are you
damn
doing?
it.
What are you doing?
Sam reaches out a hand towards one of the guards that as they're hauling them away and says, "Hold."
The Baron looks like he was about to say something, and he turns. Strosny turns too, and as he looks at you, Sam, he actually smiles.
What
Maybe
justice is there placing an old woman in the stocks?
"Blessings of the morning, Lord, to you, my tall friend. You are outsiders here. It sounds as though you are questioning our boundless happiness. Would you like to claim responsibility for this old fool's rehabilitation yourself? I warn you, it's not a job for the faint of heart, but you'd certainly save us some time. You may take her if you wish."
I do not believe she belongs in the stocks.
"Oh, very well. Let her go." The guard you grabbed looks up at you and he's like, you're probably the second scariest thing he's ever seen. And he'll sort of move away, and they're very happy to let her go and kind of get back in line. And the Baron will say, "Welcome to Vallaki. Do ensure you educate yourselves about our rules and traditions before I stand up. All of you, look up to the Morning Lord this morning and thank him for the boundless joy and euphoria that we feel each and every day. I shall expect to see you all at the Festival of the Blazing Sun 4 days hence. All will be well." And the people just, "All will be well." On we go. He rides, and Isaac stays his horse, and he just looks at you and he says, "You put one toe out of line, you lose that toe. Maybe a bit more. Uh, Isaac, I'm ready to go." "Yes, my Baron." They'll turn and they sort of start to lead away. Wilhelmina she didn't even look up at you, Sam. She just kind of leans into you. She's covered in mud.
Sam places a hand on her shoulder.
She looks up at you. "You needn't have put yourself in harm's way for me. Should have listened to Father Lucian." Been patient.
Regardless, I could not watch you suffer.
You're a kind creature. I'm afraid you cannot stop my suffering, though. She see you, Gummer, and kind of give you a nod. Everybody's sort of just going about their day now. Like, now that the procession's gone, they're like, "So, you want to go down and see if there are new toys at Blinsky's? Like, it's literally just like small talk. It's everything is just normal now. And uh, as you sort of tend to her, she'll see you, Gummer, and she'll say, "You as well." Just looks at the rest of you. I should have had you escort me today.
Are you all right?
I am muddy and a bit humiliated. But humiliation will pass. Mud can be washed. I'm as all right as I can be without my son. That is not something you can help me with. So, thank you. So sort of start to walk away. And you guys are more or less alone in the streets. For the moment.
I am sorry to have put you at risk, but I did not think it was right to stand by while an injustice like that occurred.
No, I thank you. Thank you. You've not put me at risk at all. I am not in the stocks, and I have you to thank for that, so thank you. So start to walk slowly up the hill. It's around this time that you see a figure in a hood walking towards you. It doesn't take you very long to recognize the gate and the breastplate, and it's Ireena. She's coming. And she'll come and she'll say, "Are you all right?"
I am
Something
whole.
happened to you. Everybody all right?
I witnessed that Sam helped someone who was gotten in trouble and did not have choice, but he decided to help them. And it made me think of someone we know or knew that was in sort of the same situation. But I was kind of wondering why he would do such a thing to that person and then help this one. Oh, it's a great day.
Ireena steps back out of this.
What did you think of him from up close, Sam?
There is something wrong with the bodyguard.
I got a little bit of a look at him as the procession passed me. It's like the air got colder. I don't know him, but something familiar about the way I felt when I saw him. Anyway, there's no time for that. We need your help at the church. I don't want to say anything while anything's around him. I'll let Father Lucian tell you, but
Let's go.
all right. She walks off. And as you head up toward the church, not precisely sure what problem there's going to be, as you were assured it was safe, we will open those church doors next week, and we will see what has happened in the Morning Lord's house.